Yep. What's up, babies? Vinyl babies. Uh, Funky Phantom here. The internet's number one. I'm not going. I'm not. But yeah, we are here with another unboxing. And I'm not gonna make this almost 30 minutes long or whatever. Because who wants to watch a 30-minute unboxing other than myself? So we're just gonna open this bad boy up. That I have a decent idea what it is. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get into it. Good old hands at work. By the way, if you hear anything blowing, that's my other fan because it's like 80 degrees here, so. As you can tell by the title of this video, really fucking heavy. Well, I mean, my last unboxing video I did was actually some pretty heavier records, but I mean, Slayer. Yeah, that's what everyone says. Oh man, Seasons of the Abyss. If you guys could only understand how I feel about holding this record and holding these other two records I have. Oh man. Yeah. Seasons in the Abyss. Classic Rain and Blood. Slayer in their prime. Young Slayer. And of course, South of Heaven. South of Heaven. So yes, 3 classic Slayer albums. Right here, holding them in my hand. Be right back. Had to get the plastic sleeves. So yeah, man, let's talk about it. Slayer. Make sure I got this the right way. Okay, yeah. Slayer. I can't honestly say when I got into Slayer. They're just one of those bands, like many people, who just they're a household name basically. Now I can remember when I got into Metallica, because Metallica is one of my all-time favorite metal bands. But Slayer, man, it just felt like one day I finally listened to a full Slayer album, which was this one, because this is the one that everyone talks about. Everyone and their grandpa talks about. But you know, I heard that record and that was it. Like there was no further convincing need, talking into whatever. Like I heard that album, got it, and I listened to this, and I listened to Seasons in Abyss, and you know, Divine Intervention, you know, Show No Mercy, God Hates Us All. God Hates Us All. Is that one? Is that God Hates Us All? I just started, you know, going through a Slayer kick, basically. And yeah, it was very similar to like how I got into Anthrax, basically. You know, well, though Anthrax, like I finally really listened, like really became a big Anthrax fan after I saw them with Killswitch Engage. But I already listened to like Spring Disease and Among the Living by then. But yeah, these are all on black vinyl, so I'm not gonna really show what the record looks like on each one. I'm just gonna open them really and give them plastic sleeves. We'll at least show the okay, never really. This is not really good. Didn't really need to show that. So maybe I won't. But yeah, I'm a bit. I can't say I'm the biggest Slayer fan, but I am no doubt Slayer fan. There are many other metal bands that I'm more into than Slayer, but Slayer is definitely like top 20, top 25 favorite metal bands. You know, top 15. 20 is a bit low. Top 15 metal bands ever. Slayer's at least 11, if not 12. At least 12, if not 11. Whatever. I love Slayer, okay? Don't get it twisted. Please don't. But yeah, it's weird the reason I was kind of weird when I was unboxing these is because these records are the kinds that I prefer to find in a record store. Everyone has their reasons for why they love everyone has their reasons for why they love, you know, going to record stores, you know, whether it's crate digging, whether it's just the atmosphere, you know, whatever it may be. For me, it's all the above. But the main thing for me, the biggest thing that I get kick out of is when I'm going through collections, I'm going through, you know, the records, and I find a classic record I love, an album that either I consider to be a classic or that is known to be a classic that I've listened to and I get it and I love it. You know, perfect examples would be like I'm a huge fan of The Who. The Who is one of my favorite bands of all time, and yeah, I've listened to their entire catalog, and each album I listened to I liked more than the last one. So I have my favorite The Who records. I'm not going to pull them out because that'll just make this video longer, but that's for another time. But I have my favorite The Who albums because I found them in the record stores. You know, I found Quadrophenia in a thrift store with an amazing record collection. I found The Who's Next in a record in one of my favorite record stores. I found I think I have The Who by the Numbers. I think I found that in another record store, one of my favorite record stores as well. But yeah, I you know, that's what I prefer to do for albums like that. Just like I got Van Halen's, you know, the first two Van Halen albums in 5150. I found those in record stores. I didn't buy those online. And that's the same thing I've been wanting to do with Slayer and Metallica and the Beatles, you know, with albums by artists that I love and cherish that have really shaped my musical taste. I prefer to find those or get those, you know, get those and put them into the collection by find them in store. We'll show you this picture. This is a cool little picture. But yeah, that's just it. You know, it's just I feel weird opening these and you know, unboxing these after having purchasing them, even though I know why I purchased them, which I'll get to in a minute. But just because like I always, it's almost like my sacred rule for records to basically not order the stuff that I would prefer to find in a record store, because then that's part of the journey, you know, the reason to go to the store, you know, to find something that valuable. You know, these records, this is a classic album. This is a classic, landmark, pivotal, influential metal album, Rain and Blood. And you know, yeah, it's all over online for you to order, but you know, you find this in a record store, it could be a reissue, it could be an original press, you know, it could be an original press, what's going on, an original, you know, press of when the album first actually came out, you know, or whatever, you know, it can be anything. You don't know, and that's the beauty of it. It has a story behind it that you don't know too much about, but you can expect the record and find it, you know, figure out maybe. You know, I have some records in the collection that, you know, you know, you just look and you be like, man, what have you been through? Or how did that get there? You know, or what's that about? So yeah, that's the one thing, you know, with having bought these online, which I bought these off of udiscover.com, which check udiscover out. They had an amazing collection of CD box sets and vinyl box sets and just records in general, man. And that's where I actually got, and we'll talk about this in another video someday. Wrong box set. I actually got this from. This is new Rush's Permanent Waves 40th anniversary. This is the 40th anniversary box set for Rush's Permanent Waves. One of my favorite Rush albums. That's a lie. No, it's not. It's just got some of my favorite Rush songs. Spirit Radio, Free Will. Rest in peace, Neil. But, you know, I got that from udiscover. And so I signed up for udiscover, and they have some good deals and stuff on there, man. They got a nice assortment of things, and they were selling Slayer's albums on Slayer Day for $17.80. And I was like, why would I not get that? The fuck? Yeah, let me get that. So this did not open as well as I thought. And so yeah, I bought the bullet because, I mean, I don't know when is the next time I'm going to go to a record store with what's going on in the world today, of course. But I've always wanted albums by the big four of thrash, any thrash albums. Those are some of the metal albums that, you know, made me a serious metalhead. And so, yeah. Metallica, I don't have any Metallica on vinyl for the same reason. I don't have any Anthrax on vinyl for the same reason. I don't have any Megadeth on vinyl for the same reasons. Same thing for even the other, you know, pivotal thrash bands like Exodus, you know, Testament, Overkill. You know, I don't have any of those records on vinyl because I would rather go through a record section. Record section. I would rather go through the metal section of a record store and come across those records than buy them online. But because we don't know what's going on out here, and I haven't been to a record store, and I almost feel like I haven't been to a record store at all this year. But I don't know. I don't think that's entirely true. But because I don't know when I'll be going back, man, anytime there's a sale lately on stuff like this, man, on these records, bro, and I can afford them, why not? Yeah. But yeah. Yep. South of Heaven. See this in the Abyss. Rain in Hell. Rain in Blood. I was gonna say, Rain in Hell. Rain in Blood. Those are just 3 of many other Slayer albums I will be putting in here. And just a few of many other metal albums I would like to put in here too. So, what do you think of Slayer? What do you feel? That's the question for this video. How do you feel about buying records online instead of the store? I feel nasty, but I feel naked. I feel naked buying these online. But I'd be stupid to not pay $17.80 for this. Whereas in store, I might be paying 20, maybe 30 something bucks, just, maybe 50, just because the record store owner knows that Rain in Blood is that big a deal of an album in the grand scheme of the history of metal. So I don't know. Win, loss, smart, despicable, I don't know. How do we balance it? You decide that in the comment section after you like, subscribe, share, all the YouTube shit. That's it. I've had enough. Peace.